What is education like for a typical person in your country?
That's a very important question. Thank you for asking. Um, well, Vietnamese governments really put a stress on the education systems. So we have our standard system goes like kindergarten, and then you go to elementary school, and then middle school for 4 years, elementary school for 5 years, and then you go to high school for 3 years. And after that, you will have to pass a national test just to finish the K-12. So you have a diploma saying you finished K-12, and then you have to have another test to get into the university that you want. So the high school is very important. When you're in high school, it's very important. We have what's called a trường trung học phổ thông chuyên, right? So what that means is it's very intense and it's very specialized. Like if you're really smart, like Harvard, right? Or Stanford, you're really smart, you get into there, you study with other smart kids, and they putting more and more information in your brains, and you have to study days and nights. I'm talking days and nights. So it's really tough. So overall, in my country, I would give it a rate about 7. It's a good education system, but I think they need to change the way they approach it. They just approach it in one way, which is here's information, here's your brain. Okay, so we want to do it differently because each brain functions differently.
What is education like for a typical person in your country?
Well, I think the Philippine education system is pretty much the same as the American system. I mean, we have primary school, grades 1 to 6, 7 to 10, and then we have high school, and then you can get a university degree, or you can become a doctoral degree or a graduate, or basically the same as any American school. And as far as I could say it, any Filipino who finishes secondary school will be able to speak good English. So, and also Filipino and English are both language courses, so I'm pretty sure they can speak both.
What is education like for a typical person in your country?
In my country, education is very important, but it has kind of a weird twist to it. So the first 10 years are, the normal schooling years. And then you get to the 2 last years of your education before college, and you have to work your butt off. And based on the scores you get put into a major that you do not choose, which I think is kind of unfair. I mean, you have to choose your own major based on what you're passionate about. So the people who get the highest scores end up in science majors, biomed and all of that. And then the people who get the lowest scores end up in art or psychology or philosophy. And then business is that awkward thing in the middle. I think it's unfair that you just get thrown into something because, I think you should be able to choose your own major based on what you like, because once you are interested in the subject, you will do good in it, whether you get a bad test score in high school or not.
Okay, it's your turn to answer the question. What is education like for a typical person in your country?